Live from the Base Room Studio 2.0 in Seattle, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who, just like Mike's favorite froyo place, will put pubes in your food, but you just can't bring yourself to write a negative review. Welcome to the Spacecast.
Podworm Spacecast, throw it in your face cast. Podworm Spacecast, get a little taste cast.
Well, hi and hello and welcome back to another episode of the Podworm Spacecast. We are so excited to be back with you again for another episode of the show. And let me introduce to you the gentlemen who have joined me on the show today. We have one half of the Deadly Brother duo, Mike McCoy.
Deadly Brother roll call.
And the other half of the Deadly Brother duo, Kevin McCoy.
Stakes are so high.
Yeah.
And the Deadly Brother roll call.
Ooh, that was good.
That's pretty good too.
Spicy. Kevin took that one.
Damn.
Okay.
Mike's had like a little charge. He like had to charge up in the beginning before he could do the rest of it.
A little running start with
Yeah.
this.
We've got the podcast promoter, Peter Fries.
Hey everyone, podcast promoter Peter Fries here. But hey, there's something else I want to promote to you cats and kittens out there in podcast land. If you're looking for a sweet treat to beat the heat, swing on over to
Okay.
frozen yogurt in. Again, that is frozen yogurt in the sweet treat to beat the heat.
If that was a joke you liked last episode, you're going to love it in this episode. We have our little buddy, Jim Charters.
Make sure to plant a tree on Arbor Day.
Will do.
I'm on it.
We got the homecoming king himself, the royalties in the house. It's Chase Golka.
Hello there, everyone.
Lucky to be in his presence. And finally, the bad boy of Bothell.
I told you to play the Jay Buhner bad to the bone.
I couldn't get the rights on such a short notice.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but we got Phil Williams.
Salute.
He's here. I am the low-hanging fruit of the podcast, Andrew LeClaire, Dandy Andy, your host for this flight, captain speaking.
Yeah,
And
love that.
Our host captain?
It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
You're more like a stewardess, like a disappointing stewardess.
To continue the metaphor, if I am the captain of this flight, it's like I'm communicating with ground control and it's just crosstalk. I can't hear anything. Like they're telling me that there's something like a mountain coming up. It's like I can't hear you. What's going on? And then there's just a whole bunch of nonsense. It's
Right.
like the ability for me to even land the plane and be in one piece at the end of the show is just a fucking miracle. And everyone on the show has their head tucked between their knees and they're praying to God the entire flight. That being said, great show coming up for you today. We have a round of hot takes. There is some more pod mail, and we're going to bring back, and for you space fans, for the first time, our friend Pablo from the Lineup podcast. If you are a true space fan, you'll know that Pablo's first appearance is our first lost episode, which has been lost to time. And we forgot to record our audio. And so we're going to bring him back on, and it's going to be twice as good as the first one. And you'll have no idea whether to gauge that because you didn't hear the first one.
I don't know.
Why don't we like match our interview from this time with his audio from last time?
Okay. Mike, go ahead and call him and let him know we don't need him.
Hey, we're just going to play the recording from last time because we got your audio just fine.
Yeah, we're just gonna make up some stuff to fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
So
no
it's going to be good. Before we dive into that, Kevin, you had something going on.
I had an amazing discovery this week.
Oh, jeez.
I found out that I'm clairvoyant.
Clairbuoyant?
Clairvoyant, whatever it is. I don't know if it's a B or a V. I've never seen it spelled.
Clairvoyant.
I like clairvoyant better, although I know it's
He's
not.
a very
that one.
buoyant Claire.
Yeah, you're
He's
floating.
very buoyant.
That Claire's very buoyant.
I float. I float with my mind.
What if that's what your discovery was?
Wow.
That you float in the pool. I'm clairvoyant.
No, Kevin, everybody can do that.
Wait, Kevin, clairvoyant or flamboyant? Which one?
Clairvoyant.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
With a V, specifically a V.
All right.
All right. What does that mean?
Cool.
I was going to a show last week.
Okay.
And I was looking for parking over in South Lake Union to go to Lo-Fi. Come to a 4-way stop sign, and I look to my left. There's cars driving through. I look to my left, and there is a person on the sidewalk walking to cross in front of me at a rapid pace. He's got a full-on trench coat, all black, no shoes on, so like barefoot. Other than barefoot, other than that, he had the same outfit as like Neo from the Matrix.
Heard that looks going on.
I imagine he was late for a business meeting and just didn't have time for shoes.
The craziest wily hair and eyes and like dirt on his face. He was clearly like a homeless person.
Are you sure this wasn't just Phil?
Sounds like
I do lose my shoes on occasion. Happens.
So I look to my left because I'm looking to see if traffic's coming. I look to my left and I see him, and my immediate first thought is, do not make eye contact with him. You'll only anger him and he'll punch your car. Like that's literally what I thought.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
And so I looked to the right and forward and didn't look to the left until he walked past the front of my car, and I could just I knew where he was without even looking at him, and I could see him go past my car. And once he got past my car, I was like, okay, I'm safe.
Yeah.
And he gets onto the sidewalk, literally a foot past my car, winds up and punches the mailbox right next to my car. And I'm like, fuck yeah! I knew that motherfucker was going to punch some shit. And I'm glad it wasn't me.
You fucking dodged a bullet, dude.
I was convinced. I was like, I'm fully convinced now that I can predict the future. All right. And especially when it pays off and my car doesn't get hit.
Can we put your
I
skills
love how
to
it's
the
like
test?
you could predict the future, but only kind of.
Let's
It's
put,
like 2 seconds.
let's put Kevin's
Yeah,
skills to
I
the
would
test.
classify that as clairvoyant.
I changed the future. He was going to punch my car.
Oh, so we got
yeah,
multiple timelines going.
oh, you
yeah.
fucking That's So Ravened that.
I did.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, he
Okay.
100%. I saw it all happening where he punches my car. I have to like pay extra from when I return my car from the lease.
Yeah.
Or I
You're
guess
the-
I probably covered by insurance.
Was your car that hard enough to dent it?
Oh my God, this guy wound up.
Wow.
Kevin, you are
The mailbox exploded.
you are the three-eyed raven of this podcast.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
our new leader.
Hell yeah.
Your dick doesn't work, but you can tell the future.
Let's make him king.
All right. I'll
and
take
you're,
it.
you're
I
and you're
accept.
All right.
Yeah.
Can we test your abilities? Can you predict something that's going to happen in this podcast?
Sure. I imagine that wasn't the last time that you made that joke in the intro.
That's a bird, but it sounds like one.
I like this.
This'll be a
Did you just change the future or did you predict it?
You know what? We'll find out.
Oh my God. So you don't think I'm going to make this joke?
The whole making eye contact with crazy / homeless people on the street is a real thing you have to get used to living in Seattle or just being in the Seattle area. But the tough thing is you have to have a good sense of who is homeless, who is not, whether to look up, whether not to, because oftentimes it's someone trying to get you to sign a petition. It's someone trying to get money from you.
Sorry, I'm glad you said that because I was going to say it's even worse when it's people that are canvassing corners.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, you can't get by those people.
No.
Not even with your headphones on and your head completely turned the other way. I've been stopped twice with my headphones on and like looking down at my phone. People like waving their hands like in front of me.
It's the hand motion that you know the person saw you. You're going like this. You're waving your hand around. Yeah, they see you.
You just shoulder check him.
You need to get
1 minute for starving children.
No, I don't.
Chase. You need to get some sunglasses and just one of those little tapping sticks.
Better yet, get a trench coat, take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Put
good
some
point.
dirt on your
Punch a
face.
mailbox.
Oh.
Yeah.
And start punching mailboxes.
Really good point.
But so you have those people, but then you also have your actual normal folks who need directions or something like that. Like yesterday, I was at the bus stop in where do I run into you, Chase? Where's that's the Pioneer Square.
Yep.
Pioneer Square is filled with insane people who come up to you in the bus line and ask you for money. They get in your face, all kind of shit. Like it's constant. It's the whole time you're sitting there at the bus stop. But there was just a guy who came up and interrupted me. I wasn't doing anything. I was just, staring at the ground, trying to avoid eye contact with everybody.
Does that count as interrupting?
Well, no, that's what I kind of. I was staring at the ground. Do you mind?
If you're doing literally nothing, I'm very busy. Like interrupting generally means that there's something that you're erupting into.
I was counting in my head and I just lost count. I was at 96. Oh, wait, no, it's 97, 98. Okay, I'm back on it. But it was just a guy who wanted to know like if this was the right bus, and he's just like a regular guy. But there was that split second of decision making where I heard him go like, "Excuse me," and I had to do the calculus in my head real fast of like, do I look up? Because once I look up, we've made eye contact. He knows I've heard him. Then I have to engage him in some way. And if he's going to ask me for money, what am I going to do? Look back down at the ground again? Resume what I was doing before? But I just kind of, I looked up, gave him directions, and it was all good. But you do have to have that like real split second calculation where it's like, do I acknowledge this person? Is this a normal person? Is this a crazy person? And if you are clairvoyant like Kevin, then
You might know.
It's such a shame because I know exactly what you're talking about. And being a native Seattleite, it's kind of like a regional skill as identifying
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it
crazy
is.
fucking people on the street. It's a shame because if you live in like Venice, you know how to like navigate the streets on a boat. That's
Yeah.
romantic and cool.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, you definitely are on crack.
Yeah.
right.
For sure, crack. Maybe
Avoid all eye
meth.
contact. Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm really good at pretending that I can't hear what you said.
There's
That's a skill that
It's
I've
kind of
learned.
romantic.
There's I was in Vancouver this last weekend, and I think I've figured out a way, not totally around this, but to like kind of nip the conversations in the butt. People would like come up and ask, like a couple people, like 3 people asked me some questions, and I said, "Oh, I'm from the States," and I think that if you use that excuse, "Oh, I'm from Canada," that they can't get you to sign the petition, they can't ask you for directions. No, I'm
That's a good one.
Canadian.
How are they going to know?
Yeah, there's not,
Interesting.
and then you just keep going. So you just right when they come up to you, "Hey, sorry,
I'm from the States."
Canadian."
Oh, right.
Yeah,
From the
You can say you're from the States too.
you could say the States. You could
Canada.
say Mexico. You could say Burkina Faso. Any country.
You know, that is such a great idea, and I wish I would have used it. I was waiting in the ferry line on Sunday to go to Kingston, and I didn't realize that if you wait for the ferry, people just walk up to your car and knock on the window
They sure do.
Wait, why?
Yeah, they do.
to sign petitions.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's
Oh,
that
yeah.
bad?
And you can't go anywhere. You're trapped in your car in the
Yeah.
ferry line.
They usually do
It's
it in
crazy.
the summer because it's so
I've
busy.
never had that happen.
It happened to me and Chen
nuts.
the other day, and I kid you not, hand to God, this is a true story. The guy came up to us and says, "Hey, do you guys have time to sign this petition?" And we're like, "No, we're California voted." He goes, "National, don't worry about it." He goes, "It's to stop discrimination against Asian people in the hiring process." Chen, if you put 1 and 2 together, Chinese. So we're like, "No, okay." And then he gives like Chen kind of like that guilty look. Like it's for Asians,
No.
right? And Chen being a nice guy, he says like, "All right, I'll sign your clipboard," right? And unprovoked, the guy leans into the car and goes, "I got a Chinese wife." So
Yikes. Oh no.
white as can be, 65 years old. I swear to God that happened 2 days ago.
We have some pod mail. And this, it's hardly even pod mail at this point in time. This needs almost a proper segment name because it's from our friend Clive.
Yeah.
It's from our friend Clive.
Clive's Corner.
Can we
Clive's Corner.
stay in a Clive, maybe?
Stay in a Clive.
Oh, fuck. I forgot that Staying at Clive is way
Dana
better.
Clive.
But he's our South African podworm correspondent. And he wrote into us. And here's what he said. "Hi, Podwa Boom Booms."
All right.
Oh my God,
South
he's
Af-
got a pet name for us.
It's Clive again. I'm in need of some advice. Buckle up. This is going to be a somewhat long one.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Aren't Clive's always like when he's drunk and writing us some long rambling email? I would prefer if he just said, buckle up. This is going to be a short one for once. Anyway, Clive says, my mother bought a car a few months ago and hasn't driven it outside of the bounds of our yard even once in 4 months.
Okay.
She cites her lack of practice as the reason, yet she refuses to let me help her practice. As the only one of her 3 children with a driver's license, she's been forcing me to play chauffeur for her. I hate driving about as much as I can hate anything, and it's become a great source of stress for me. I've already scratched and scraped it a couple times. Fun fact, Mike slid into my DMs and advertised the podcast me during a trip to our mechanic after one of my blunders.
Oh.
Dang. I slid right into those DMs.
You did. The dick pic was unnecessary, but
But he's listening.
whatever you got to do to promote the show.
I'm just saying, if like 1 in 10 people listen, the dick pic is it works.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
The studies show. How do I get my mother to quit bothering me and start driving her own car? Help me, Podworms. This is driving me insane. I don't know if you meant to do that, but
Oh, that's nice.
on a related note, 2 days ago, I damaged my father's van.
Clive,
Backing out of our
what the
garage.
fuck are you doing? You have, what is this, 3 accidents you've admitted to in this one email?
I have the feeling this is going to keep happening until I level up my skills behind the wheel. What's some solid advice for becoming a better driver?
First of all, Clive, take the blindfold off. You'll do much better if you can see the fucking road.
2 things. 1, Clive needs to get Phil's number because Phil can get him some insurance. 2,
I'll hook you up.
Clive, if you're going to improve your driving skills, there's one way and one way only, and that is called Daytona. If you can find a Daytona racing cabinet
Absolutely.
somewhere in South Africa, I'm sure they have it, spend 8 hours a day on it for a couple weeks, you will become the best driver in at least the Southern Hemisphere.
Right. That's one piece of advice for sure. Well, he has 2 questions here. One is to how to get his mom to quit bothering him and to start driving her own goddamn car. And number 2, how does he become a better driver?
This is probably the answer he doesn't want to hear.
Yeah.
The answer's the second one, but then it kind of gives into the first one.
See, this is why he voted Mike off.
I know.
He's gonna give him
But
a
you want to
tough
learn
love.
how to drive. You want to learn how to drive.
Mike's the most straightforward here. He's actually caring for him the most.
You want to learn how to drive. Maybe it's time to be the chauffeur of the house and just be okay with it.
Oh.
Because you're going to get your best training out there on the road.
Okay. Well, so here's, I think I know what you're saying, and I kind of agree. And here's what I've always felt is that if there's a goal in mind that you can actually work your way towards it, instead of just kind of this being this just process you're doing for no good reason. Like for example, if you're just going to the gym you're just like running the treadmill that you hate it, then it might not be as much fun as if you think that, oh, there's like a really great, I'm training for a hike or a marathon. There's some goal at the end. Right. And Clive has previously expressed to us that he has never really had a significant other before. And he doesn't know why. And I think that this is a great opportunity for him to use his car to impress the ladies.
Wow.
And so Clive, I think, needs to go just to the nearest open space where he doesn't worry about hitting things.
Yeah.
Like a big parking lot.
Parking lots are
Or a field.
Yeah.
Field.
Or
great.
an airstrip.
Airstrip.
Maybe gets maybe get some cones and sets them up.
A hangar.
Yeah.
Parking lot.
Okay, I already said that one.
You could go to a parking lot, though.
He can go to a parking lot. And he's got to
You
practice
could,
those
you
skills.
could go to 2 different parking lots.
He
Right.
can drive from
Several
one to
parking
the
lots.
other.
I would go to a parking lot before I would go to a field.
Why not?
What about
to
a
drive
hangar?
your car.
I drive a car.
A hangar's
field.
great. If you got a good hangar, I'd say go for it.
I would say number 1, go to the hangar. Number 2,
Airstrip.
Airstrip. 3, like, but 3's like way down. Like it's like
down here.
space.
Well, if you
Parking lot.
No. If you can get to a racetrack before the parking lot.
Okay, racetrack, right. Then parking lot,
Yeah.
then field.
What is South Africa doing where they hand out driver's licenses
Oh no.
without training?
Wait. You're just assuming that Clive has no training.
That's not
if
an
he's-
assumption. Clive is
He's
banging into everything.
literally asking to be trained.
Yeah, I think maybe he wants to be a better driver and not just maybe he got trained by the same guy I got trained by, who was terrible.
Yeah.
Hold
Same.
on. Let me.
Yeah, maybe he drives like Phil, you know?
Oh, you said I'm a bad driver.
Did you just stop his whole thought process? Hold on. Got you good.
We were going to talk about something. Let's talk about this.
Phil, defend yourself.
I'm not a very good driver. No, I'm fuck with you guys. I've got more hours on the road than anybody.
That is actually true. Yeah.
I got no accidents.
I have more hours off the road, I think.
All right, so Kevin's the
I'm the worst driver.
Okay.
I'm the worst.
So Kevin loses, wins.
So returning to Kevin's point to Clive, I think that maybe South Africa has like you could just have to take a test. Maybe there's no training involved. Maybe you just have to like go down, take a test. Hey, you pass the test. Here's a driver's license.
We are missing some information here.
Yeah, we are.
South Africa.
We're just saying. He said his mom got his car 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Hasn't driven it.
Yeah.
She hasn't driven it, so he's had to driven it.
Yeah.
And he has not only bumped and scraped that car in 4 months,
And he's done the same thing to his dad's
and to
car.
his dad's car.
Yeah.
4 months, 3 accidents. I would drop you like a motherfucker. Terrible driver.
thing is,
Sorry, Clive.
He's the one of 3 kids who actually has the license. So imagine how bad of a driver the other 2 kids are.
Well, and no kidding. He
Or they
hates
just
driving.
might
He's
not.
Not really
bad at
drivers
it.
at all, are they?
I guess not. Okay, here's a nice idea. Go to the local bowling alley and see if they have any of the bumpers left over. All you have to do is you just take the bumpers and you place them around the perimeter of the car. Then you can feel free and just bump into stuff and you'll just bounce off.
Oh, that's interesting.
No harm, no foul.
You know what's funny though, Andrew, is like most cars come with bumpers.
But not on the sides of the car.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm getting the impression that Clive is hitting it all around the car. So, I mean, that's a start. But I don't know. I mean, I think that you got to go to the airstrip, number one.
Yeah.
You got to go do some unconventional driving things, like learn how to do a donut, learn how to do a burnout,
I
a
think
wheelie.
It sounds like his problem is just
Wheelie.
sounds like it sounds like his problem is just confidence. And if he does those things that Andrew's saying, he'll get more confident in driving.
And it wouldn't hurt
Yeah.
to have a cool driving outfit.
Yeah, maybe some
Right.
gloves.
Some driving gloves, a leather jacket,
jacket,
Knuckle
yeah.
holes on the driving
sunglasses,
Yeah.
Sunglasses
Like
for
a
sure.
scorpion on the back of the jacket.
Yeah.
fuzzy
Yeah.
dice,
Yeah.
tight pants.
so were all the accidents his fault? You know what? Like I feel like I don't have enough information.
I have
here.
some information, not about Clive's accidents. Wish I did. But
Well, then
I
go
also
ahead.
have information doesn't pertain to this at all.
Yeah, if you guys want to know something,
It's about
let me know.
oranges.
Chase, can you tell us something?
Yeah.
Wrong. You can't tell us shit.
Chase has literally no
Chase.
information.
You know what? Let me think about it.
That was the softest softball.
Yeah, let me think about it.
Chase, could you say
tell
anything about anything?
Anything. Bar so low.
Hold on. Give me like 40 minutes. And I'll get back to you.
Can you come back to me?
This is just a friendly reminder to not put Chase in your improv team. He might be homecoming king, but he is not the improv king.
all right, Chase, if you want to let the group know that I have some information, that can be your piece.
Peter has something to tell you guys.
Okay, great.
Oh,
There we
thanks,
go.
Chase.
Thanks,
Yeah, you're
Chase.
welcome.
Great information.
This does apply to the conversation we're having in South Africa.
oh, does it?
He's looking
You
at
can
something.
apply for the learner's license, which you can have up to 2 years. You cannot drive unless you're supervised by another driver with a full license. You can do this at age 16 or 17.
Okay.
So there is some type of like learning process in South Africa for the driver's license.
Makes sense. I mean,
Maybe
I
there's
feel like
some big old
why would
potholes
there
or
not
something.
be? Why would there not be?
Is
Traffic.
South Africa's driving similar to ours or Europe's?
I don't think so.
Do they drive on the left
Is it-
side or
is
is
it
it
a
the right
little
side?
bit- Is it a little bit more chaotic?
I think they drive on the side that the British drive on.
So
Welcome
left,
to the
yeah.
Expose Our Ignorance part of the podcast.
This is the I don't know if we have enough information at all, and Chase certainly doesn't have any.
Chase, your thoughts?
Yeah. One of the most astounding Seattle traffic facts that I always blow people's minds with.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Get this.
Blow our
traffic
minds.
talk.
So Seattle is an isthmus.
Yes, it is.
It is. So is Bellevue.
A narrow strip between two bodies of water for our ignorant listeners out there.
Yes.
It's
Nice.
6 miles at the widest point,
Yes.
and 1.5 million commuters travel through that isthmus every day.
And
1.5 million people through 6 miles.
yeah,
That's
all
crazy.
That's all we got.
okay.
That's pretty cool stuff.
That blows my mind.
Blow your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
If you need
Great, dude.
insurance, you can contact Phil.
Chase, do you have any additions to that?
I feel just like, I feel.
Welcome back to Chase.
Welcome back to Chase Chat.
He just takes a second to warm up.
This is my new segment.
I love that we could just always throw it to
Ask Chase anything about literally anything.
He's doing an AMA later.
All you see is just like the little ... pop up, and then I'm typing, and then it goes away, and then it comes back again.
Rinse and repeat. Yeah. Okay. Well, Clive, hopefully that helps you out. If you get any video footage of you in the airstrip or in the hangar doing donuts and burnouts, please send them over to us.
Yeah.
Or getting in an accident.
Or getting an accident.
Or any details about how those accidents happened. Would love to hear.
Yeah. Some more specifics here would be good to know.
So yet again, Clive, please send us more information.
Also,
so
Clive,
we can properly answer your question.
if you just want to send us a primer on South Africa,
Just some solid important things we should know.
like quick hits,
like a little cheat sheet.
Pamphlet.
Yeah,
Like a
a
welcome to South
brochure.
Africa
or like
pamphlet.
if you want to mail us a book,
Here's what driving culture is in South Africa. That'd be
Or
great.
just
Thank you.
here's
recommend a
what culture
documentary
is.
on Netflix.
Right. There has to be something on Netflix about driving in South Africa.
Think District 9 is on Netflix.
Yeah, I was about to say like
Chase.
Is that kind
There's a big fight in Age of Ultron 2 in Johannesburg in South Africa.
Yes. Yeah.
For Age Adventures 2. So
All right.
Well, it sounds like we have to go do some studying
yeah.
between now and the next time we talk to Clive.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and bump hot takes until next episode because we've got a very important guest to get on the line here. So we're going to join you real soon in a second here with Pablo Bonilla from the Lineup Podcast.
Podroom Space Cast, throw it in your face cast. Podroom Space Cast, get a little taste cast. Podroom Space Cast, throw it in your face.
All right. Well, we are back. We are joined here by Pablo Bonilla from the Lineup Podcast. And Pablo had joined us previously on a now lost episode. And so we had to rush to get him on a new episode as soon as possible. I mean, it was about 6 or 7 episodes in between, but who's counting?
2 months later.
Yeah.
But we're happy to have him back. So thanks for coming back on the show, Pablo.
Of course, it is an honor and a pleasure. And if we could recover those lost tapes, I wonder what they'd sell for.
I know. Well,
So much for sure.
it's like that Wu-Tang album that Martin Shkreli purchased.
I mean, I'd put in 10 right now.
10 mil?
Yeah. 10 whatever you want. Oh, I'm in for it.
You know what we could do is we could record separately and say, "Hey, this is the last tape for your Patreon subscribers."
Oh. See, that's the thing we haven't launched yet. It's a Patreon.
Maybe this is how we kick it off.
This is going to be how we start the whole thing, is that we actually tell people that the real Pablo Podcast is also behind the paywall.
We've built it up so much at this point that people are like, I fucking gotta hear that shit.
This has got to be good stuff.
Gotta hear
I
it.
gotta know.
Well, just for the people who are listening at home, we connected with you over Instagram. Is that how we met?
Instagram. That's how we met.
Yeah. So Mike does a lot of messaging on Instagram and connecting with other podcasts, and came across you guys. And you guys do a movie podcast, kind of digging into different movies and different topics on the, in the cinema world. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
So last time we got together with you, we played the "What movie should Andrew watch" game, and it was really great. And then we played it again because we didn't record that one. As you said.
Yeah. Played it again and played it off as if it was the first time we'd ever played it.
Right, but now we're kind of
Well,
letting
it's-
everybody behind the scenes.
So, did you use the same movies then? Because I know a couple episodes. Oh, okay, because I'm
We
a
would
couple
never do
episodes
that to you.
behind. I haven't listened.
Oh no,
I haven't listened to that one yet.
that would be disingenuous to do that.
Absolutely not. No, we didn't actually. We did different movies.
No, we use new movies. They're all Peter's choice.
Yeah.
And he
Wild
picked,
card.
He picked a few that were kind of questionable comparisons. I think there was one, the Batman movie, that got a few laughs. That was being compared again, or no, it was the Wild Wild West,
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. It was like sort of like Wild Wild West versus like
The Godfather. Or something.
It wasn't like a hard decision.
No, it did not end up being the Wild Wild West. Just a quick update on that. I have not watched the movies, by the way.
But you will.
Oh, I will be. Shocker.
Certainly intend to.
Yeah, once you get to your one per year schedule.
Yeah, one movie per year. I make it a good one though. At this point in time, Pablo, what's your favorite movie you've seen since we've last talked, or even in just the last few months?
Oh man, gosh, actually, Us just came out on Blu-ray today.
Yeah.
And I have not rewatched it since theaters, but so far that is my number one movie of 2019.
Absolutely.
Okay, Us. Is that the one with the clown and the balloon?
It's another 2-letter word.
Oh, okay, that was it. Right. Okay.
But no, not at all.
What was Us? Is that the one with the robot and the guy who has a relationship with the robot?
I want your plot synopsis.
What is that?
You get one more guess. One
Yeah,
more
one
guess.
more
Yeah,
guess.
one more
Okay.
guess.
Isn't it the one with like that father and daughter who they have to like survive in this cold environment together?
Nope.
That's the road.
Not at all.
Oh, okay. I don't know. What's it about?
Well, it's Jordan Peele's new movie,
Yep.
and I don't really know how to explain it. You just need to watch it. It's fantastic. It's like a long episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
really good.
cool.
It's really good. It's creepy.
Oh, right. What was his first movie? Wait, was that his first movie?
Get out.
Get out.
Get Out.
Get out. How do you not know that movie?
I actually still haven't seen that. What? Yeah, I know. I held out because one of my friends barged in after seeing it one time and just blurted out what happened. And I was like, well, shit, I need to wait like 3 years and forget everything I heard.
That's a bummer.
Yeah,
I
and it's
hate
like-
To be
that.
fair, he did a bad job. I
did a terrible
I saw
job.
it after that explanation, and it was actually pretty good.
Okay, yeah, well, there you go.
Even knowing every single twist and obviously bizarre, obscure details of the movie because he
Yeah.
was pretty drunk describing it. Still pretty good.
Oh, okay.
I was driving down in Seattle the other day past the elephant like tow truck thing.
Yeah.
And drove past an auto body shop like a block from there, and it had one of those like board signs that like the old film thing where you put the letters up individually.
Yeah.
It said Bruce Willis was a ghost at the end on the sign. And it's like I'm pretty sure that if you drive past there right now, it's still up.
Oh my God.
And it was kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
I really love that.
Isn't the new Toy Story out now?
Yeah.
Are you a Toy Story fan, Pablo?
Oh gosh, yes, I love the first two.
Okay. All right. First two.
Oh, you didn't like 3?
I don't like 3 because it's like really good and it hurts.
Interesting.
3 has the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in a kid's
Sure
film.
does.
Like they're in a trash compactor, all about to die, and they're like fighting to get out of the trash compactor. And then instead of fighting, they stop and hold each other's hands,
Yes.
and they all accept their own death. Yes, they do. And I was like,
Spoiler alert.
No. They don't die though. That's what was so frustrating. I was like, that would have been perfect. That's way better than what actually happens.
So the reason you don't like it is because they didn't all die in a fiery death.
We could have taught our children about death.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very directly.
Well, I feel like, you can definitely tell that millennials did not make that movie because we're so steeped in nostalgia that is it okay if I just talk about the ending of Toy Story 3?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's,
That's honestly
the
what
fact
we
that-
wanted to talk to you about.
yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, I've been dying to talk about this. I've only seen it twice. but the fact that that Andy like gives away his toys, like that just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay. The whole
he, like,
concept of him giving away his toys.
he like passes the baton. It's like, no, but we're still
Right.
here watching the movie.
Right, because it's like your children are gonna want this. So I like a lot of my old toys. My mom still has, and I purposely have left them at her house because she's never gonna get rid of anything.
Yeah.
So
She got the space for it.
exactly.
Right. Yeah, I got a bunch of boxes of shit at my dad's house. He's like, hey, you gonna take these boxes soon? Oh, yeah, right. It's been about 3.5 years.
Absolutely. Every time I see my parents, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll get it.
I wasn't able to get away with that because my parents were moving out of the house that I grew up in, and they're like, no, you have to take this or else it's going away immediately. And I was like, I actually do have to take all this stuff.
All you gotta do is sneak it into some random cupboard at their new house.
Well, the
Yeah.
problem is they're
Slip it
going to
in.
move again, and then because they're renting right now, and I can't do that. Or else I totally would.
just hold on to it for a little bit. You can get it right back into that new house when they eventually get it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
See, this is why I love Pixar films, right? Is because they're just so fucking brutal to their lead characters.
Yeah.
They like basically like they're like, okay, let's first like ruin all your hopes and dreams, and then let's take everything that you're good at and make it a bad thing. And that's a Pixar film.
Yeah.
If your parents are dead from the beginning or you divorced or whatever, great.
Yeah. Even better.
Even better.
It's real shit.
And it was your fault too.
It was probably your fault. I love Pixar though.
Yeah. They're
and that's
great.
why they're so good.
That's why they're so good
Those are brutal.
because when you get that redemption at the end, you're just like, oh my God, this person needed it.
It's that much sweeter.
Those feelings that have feelings really needed to feel that. They just needed to be validated.
And so did I.
It would be hard to move away.
Pablo, you talk about movies on the podcast. You guys ever talk about TV? Because there's some good TV these days.
Every now and then we'll reference some TV. So my co-host, who is my brother-in-law, Luke, has watched a lot of so we're both fans of Psych, and he really got into Community as well. So every now and then that kind of comes up, but not a whole lot. No.
Okay. Yeah, Community.
One of my favorite shows.
One of your favorite shows
of all time.
It's so good.
It was one of those sleeper shows for me that I didn't watch while it was actually on the air, but I kind of caught it when it was on streaming platforms.
Yeah.
It is so good, and the cast is really strong. Like it's a strong ensemble cast.
So good. Yeah.
It's great. Do you ever watch Black Mirror, Pablo?
Okay. Everyone told me, they're like, oh, you got to watch Black Mirror. The first episode is awesome. You love Bryce Dallas Howard, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And then I watched the first episode, and they meant episode 1 of season 3.
Right.
Episode 1 of season 1. Yeah.
Different episode.
That's good. That's
So,
like the
I haven't watched it since.
Dude, that's like, I mean, do you like pigs?
Dude, that first episode.
Not anymore.
Do you like pigs?
Okay, you like pigs? You gotta check out season 1. Season 1. You're gonna love it. Oh my god.
Just for context, what happened in season 1? episode
Dude
1?
fucks a pig.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
On
TV.
You know what the worst part is when his advisor or whatever is like walking him through as he's walking down the hallway to go in there. She's walking him through every step of, okay, you have to do this. You have to do this. If you don't do this, people are going to think this. And it's just like so unsettling that I was like, you know what? I don't know. So my wife and I were watching it, and she had gone to bed, and so the next day she's like, oh, so what happened? Did they find did they find the princess or whatever? And I said, yup, sure did.
Sure did.
Sure did.
Dude, I had somebody like try to tell me not to watch the first pilot like every single time. They're like, you got to watch Black Mirror. Don't watch the first episode. And they said it, they hyped it up so much that I was like, fuck it, I'm watching the first episode.
Yeah, you got to see
that. And then
that.
it was so hyped for me that it literally, I felt nothing watching and I was like, well, I'll just critique this as a pilot of the show, I guess, instead of like feeling the emotional impact that I was supposed to about this first episode.
Yeah. Plus, I'm kind of tired of stories of people fucking pigs.
Right?
Yeah. So
Thanks a lot, Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Pixar has done that.
So we've learned now that Jim his emotions have been completely blunted, where he can see a guy fucking a pig on TV. He's like, not even registering.
Just another fucking pilot.
Wow, just another day at the office.
That's the problem with like Black Mirror, though, is the fact that like it lays everything out on the table. There's no subtlety ever. So it's like, hey, what if everybody had exercise bikes and you have to like play games and do exercise bikes, and then they have all the characters do that, and there's no imagination. You're unable to imagine anything that's going on. They just show you everything.
It's Black Mirror is like, hey, we've got a crazy premise.
Yep.
Guess what? 2 twist endings. Just kidding. There's 3.
Fair. I mean, there's nothing like a twist ending.
Yeah. Or 3.
Or 3.
Or 4.
Well, Pablo, because you are a connoisseur of things related to film, I thought we could play one of our favorite games called Made Up Movie, but this one's gonna be called Made Up Action Movie because we found this random title generator for movies on the internet, and the formula, while great, and gave us some hits like the woman in the mirror,
Person in the words.
the person in the words,
Give us some hits that we don't remember.
the sea captain's I don't know, whatever, some bullshit about the sea.
Yeah.
Something about the sea.
Bridge of Doors.
The wave. The
Bridge
wave.
of- yeah.
Something about waving.
The wave
I don't
secrets.
remember.
The secrets wave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But anyway, it just
They were hits though.
they were so good.
it just felt a little too formulaic. So I found a random action movie title generator. And so what we're gonna do is so the genre's already chosen for us. It's gonna be action. But I want to hear from you a lead actor, like a leading man and a leading woman to be in this movie. And we're just going to come up with this plot based on the two people that you've chosen and also the title chosen by the random action movie generator. All right.
Oh, very good.
So they don't have to be your favorite actor and actress, but just two people that you think would be just great to have in an action movie.
Like the most bankable right now.
Yeah. I mean, whatever speaks to you.
Yeah, I'm looking for some
most
of that
bankable.
sweet cash
Like
right now.
let's rake in the money. What's this
Yeah,
thing?
we're not trying to make this for art reasons or anything like that.
This is purely monetary.
Top bill.
Oh, good. I know, 'cause that's like the hard thing because I like guys like Ben Affleck and, you know, it's just like random that everybody loves to hate. And, you know, now everybody is on the Leonardo DiCaprio train. And that's cool because now everyone's like respects him and sees that he's like actually good. He's
Yeah.
quality. So gosh, you know what?
But who's gonna make us that sweet
I know who's going to make all that money. Like I don't know who's hot right now. Like
Chris
obviously
Hemsworth.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt,
Chris
Chris
Evans.
Pine, Chris Evans.
Okay, let's do Chris Pine because I think Chris Pine might be my favorite of the Chris's.
Chris Pine. Okay.
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
And then how about a leading woman to play opposite him?
Oh, Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren.
Okay, great.
Fucking little MILF action going on.
I love it.
Maybe tempting into GILF.
Yeah, I think
Might
so.
be.
Might
We'll
be.
have to check. We'll have to check the regulations on that one.
Check the rule book.
All right. So we're gonna use.
Or you know, if you want to, you can go classic. I mean, I think like right now, I'm trying to. Oh, who's hot right now? Who's working a ton? Like Jennifer Lawrence was for a while. Brie Larson. I think everybody likes her.
Yeah.
So they're boring.
Yeah, you want to stick with Helen Mirren?
Fucking Beyonce.
100%.
Yeah, I think you had the best choice from the very beginning.
I think you had the right instinct.
She was in Mr. Magoo, right?
Sure. She was in Gold Member.
She's a gold member. Yeah.
I mean, that qualifies.
Yeah. And she's going to be in Lion King. Beyonce's an actress now. It's fine.
Yeah, she's
Get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Accept it.
get over
I
it.
don't know. I don't know what
She's an
stand I'm
artist,
taking.
okay?
Wasn't she in like Dreamgirls or something?
Was that?
Wasn't she in Dreamgirls or no? Who was that?
That was Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
From
I
American
saw
Idol.
Is another movie that Andrew's seen, I guess.
I've not seen it.
Well, okay, so I didn't
I was
like
about
that
to be like,
movie, and
wow,
then
he's seen
I had
Dreamgirls.
on a high
Cool.
school choir trip. We
How did you
drove to
know that?
Seattle, and so we went and saw a stage production of it, and I was like, oh, this was actually like really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was pointless. I don't know why I said that. Cut that out.
Well, I mean,
That was a cool story, dude.
you wouldn't.
Great story, bro.
The funny
Oh
thing.
my God, Seattle, dude, that's where we live.
I've been there once today.
Yeah.
So I was there when you guys were there. Probably. If you can
hang on.
believe it.
What? But you said this story was pointless. I mean, you were there the same time we were.
Holy shit.
I'm just trying to see if we've ever crossed paths somehow.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's very possible. I mean, I do get around.
I mean,
Actually, well, you know what I was thinking?
QFC
Again, this has nothing to do with anything. But so my uncle drives a city bus and he drives a downtown route in Seattle, and I might
What?
Yeah. So maybe you've been on
Maybe.
been on his bus. Who
Distinctly
knows? And so
possible.
you guys,
I'm best
I was listening
friends
to
with
an
your
episode
uncle.
the other day
number?
that you guys did.
what's his bus
Okay,
number?
that I don't know, but I was visiting with my aunt a couple months ago from Seattle, and she was in town, and she said, "Oh yeah, Uncle Dan got kicked in the chest by like some bum off the street, or like some guy just like, just like walked up like Sparta kicked him in the chest."
Holy shit.
Like, that is like that's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
That is.
I wish I were a bus driver because I would have seen that coming. We proved earlier that I'm clairvoyant when it comes to homeless people.
Especially homeless attacks. Kevin can predict
man.
homeless attacks.
He's really good at that.
It's a really specific skill.
Yeah.
Is that actually that could be the skill of Chris Pine in our movie?
Hell yeah.
Okay. So okay, I like
Let's find
this.
out the title.
Yeah. All right, keep this in mind. All right, let's get a title
Wow.
here. I'm going to randomize an action movie title. All right, we got the title Infinite Death.
Starring Chris Pine and Helen Mirren.
And Chris Pine is clairvoyant in his way that he can predict when a homeless person's going to attack.
So I don't know if you guys like. I have the whole movie plot in my head the second I saw that title.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I'm already doing like concept art.
Yeah, we have like the
I have
costume.
some concept art as well.
I'm working on costuming now.
I was thinking like a apocalyptic bubble society where the rich live in bubbles and the homeless live in the wastes of the apocalypse. you
Okay,
know?
but so why living in the bubble?
You know, they're like rich. You know, society is
I mean,
separated.
it has like the,
Bubbles.
like the Gungan cities of episode one.
Have you
know what I
seen
mean?
The Fountain?
no.
Of course not.
Wasted breath.
I don't know why did I even try?
But I was thinking this is like a sci-fi element where like
Yeah.
the ecosystem has collapsed and
Yeah,
that
and
like
everybody
the,
else
The sun has gotten too hot.
and so in order to survive,
we go underwater.
into
The
bubbles.
rich have gone to the bubbles of like Gardens of Eden. These bubbles.
okay,
I don't know why.
Okay.
Gungan City. I'm feeling it.
Gungan City.
Right.
Yeah.
And the homeless live
in the waste. Yeah.
okay,
And Chris Pine has
And
to fight
and
some fucking
Helen
homeless
Mirren,
people.
Helen Mirren is the leader of this futuristic society.
okay.
I like that.
She's
Like
like,
she
the
wears
matriarch.
like a really nice like pantsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has like a
Futuristic pantsuit.
So nice.
Power
haircut. I don't
pantsuit.
know.
So are we thinking like Hillary Clinton meets Hunger Games?
Yes.
Kind of, honestly.
Yes. You got it, dude.
Like somewhere in the intersection between those two?
Like the plot of Hillary Clinton and the plot of Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Plot of Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it.
That sounds like
From
Donald.
the creators who brought you Hillary Clinton comes infinite death.
yeah, I'd see that trailer and be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
sure.
Okay, so I like this idea, but but there has to be some sort of a motive for the homeless to be attacking the upper class. I think it's just obviously resentment, right? Like
Yeah.
living in the society, in the bubble society.
It's just class struggle.
right. But I think that they've trained themselves up to be so strong, they've overpowered any of the army that the upper class can even provide. And so there's like this just like string of deaths. Just the homeless are attacking, they're killing
Yeah.
everybody.
I think
I
that's
think-
a good idea, but I think we need to decide who's the protagonist and antagonist. Who are we rooting for?
Here's
here?
what I think. I think the reason it's called infinite death is because what happens is you just have this cycle, this vicious cycle of just the homeless people killing the rich people and the rich people killing the homeless people, and it never ends. And what the movie is really about is breaking that wheel.
You know what I
I'm
like?
saying?
I like that we're heading in a direction where the protagonist is going to be a rich guy, and he
Yeah.
finally has to defeat all the homeless.
Well, because Chris
Pine's powers.
Clearly, the homeless people are the bad ones.
Sense when they're going to attack.
he has the power to predict when they're going to attack.
Clairbuoyant.
Oh, maybe that's more what it is. Maybe it's really only homeless people dying, and because he can predict it, they always lose.
And it's always homeless people dying. But what if the homeless people were all clones of the rich people? And so every time they got like a day older, they cloned themselves and stayed the same age. And all of their clones go off to live in the wastes, which is why they die an infinite amount of times because they live forever.
Oh,
That's fucking crazy.
that should be the twist.
Okay, so that's the first twist. What's a second twist?
So you clone yourself,
Yeah.
and then
A day younger.
and then the one that you decide to stay in never ages.
Oh, you don't have to think about it.
But the
You
one
just
that
have to be disgusted by it. And know that Chris Pine is right.
I also love cloning yourself, and then your clone wakes up, and you're like, okay, you just go into the waste now. No. I live on you.
You're the one.
You're the waste.
To the
Move
person.
along.
Okay, I know how to fix this. I know how to fix this. I got it. So instead of cloning yourself over and over again, the rich people switch bodies when they're tired of their own body. So their mind goes to another body, and the old one gets sent out into the waste.
And those are the homeless people.
Yes.
Boom. Jim, that's brilliant.
But they get like Men in Black right before they go, but the Men in Black doesn't last that too long.
This is in the Men in Black universe. I think.
Definitely.
I knew that from the beginning. As soon as we knew the name.
Everyone's walking around with those flashy things.
So what? Infinite death. Parentheses. Men in Black universe.
Men in Black 3.
So what about for the second twist?
4, I mean.
What about for the second twist? Chris Pine realizes in like the second act that he's actually a clone of the leader of the civilization.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. But he has to like use
I
his.
love this movie.
How
He's
is it sound?
actually a clone of Helen Mirren.
How is it sounding so far, Pablo?
What if Chris Pine? Sorry.
Is this pretty bulletproof so far?
Man, this is a movie. I already see dollar signs. That's like.
That's why we brought you on.
We got America's 2 hottest stars, Chris Pine and Helen Mirren. It's a fucking bankroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is easy money. So let me kind of straighten things back out. So Helen Mirren, she's a member of the ruling class,
The High Council.
right? And then Chris Pine, he's a clone of the old ruler.
Yeah.
and he's now look at the
From years ago.
Exactly.
years ago.
Yeah.
He's one of the 9.
one of the nine.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that
He's 7 of 9. That was wrong. That's actually from something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's from Star Trek.
He's 6 of 9. Damn it. That's probably from something
It's
too.
also Star Trek.
so just to straighten things out here, his ability is
Straighten it
to
out.
predict homeless people attacking.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But he is one of them.
Well, so him and Helen Mirren are the same person in different bodies.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I cannot wait to see Helen Mirren's Chris Pine and Chris Pine's Helen Mirren.
That sounds great.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
It kind of like really turns a mirror on society. Like if you're
Yeah.
a clone, are you
Mirren
really
on society.
a mirror? Yeah, mirroring on society.
So how is this whole thing resolved? Like obviously there's a revolt going on.
I imagine like end of episode 3 lightsaber battle between Helen Mirren and Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Helen Mirren obviously gets a high ground, and it's done for.
Wait, I thought Chris Pine was the protagonist.
Just
No?
an idea.
No.
That's the third twist.
Well, because Helen Mirren is Chris Pine, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
So
Okay, yeah.
I think it's almost kind of like a Thanos situation where Helen Mirren is trying to save the world because the world is crumbling, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they have to do this clone thing so that the world can live on. And so she's trying to convince Chris Pine, her clone.
Yeah.
Yes.
here's how it goes down.
Her previous clone body.
Someone finish this thought.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's how it goes. There's an actual fight sequence because it's an action movie. There's been lots of like death and action the whole time, and it comes to the end, and Chris Pine is fighting Helen Mirren, but they're going blow for blow because you can't predict her moves because she is him, right?
Yes.
And so they stop, and then he gives this big speech where like he has this like extreme where his power just like goes off the chain, and he sees like into the future, into infinity, and he sees death for infinity. And he says, look, the only way we can prevent this death is to stop cloning and to let society just, live the way it needs to, because I see the future of the infinite death. And they have this like moment of diplomacy, and she shuts down the cloning machine.
She has a big
Sweet.
lever
Yeah.
right there.
Sweet.
I'm crying right now.
I think all the homeless people
That's
should
amazing.
shut down too. Like
They power down. Wait, does Chris Pine power down then?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
As
Like
Helen
Toy
Mirren.
Story. Wait,
Chris
the right
Pine
ending.
as Helen Mirren sacrifices himself.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
right.
This isn't convoluted at all, you guys.
I think this is a winner.
I think so too.
For an action movie, simple.
Yeah, totally.
I think that
And the credits start with dedicated to, and it's whoever you want to say, Pablo.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Here, let me buy some time. Chase, give us a thought. Who should we?
I was just trying to think of somebody that
We always toss the chase when we got,
I would just say to all homeless people.
Yeah, I think it just needs to be dedicated to all the clomies out there.
The Clomies.
Yeah.
All my clomies. I think this is a award-winning film, and I think the most important thing is we have to have one more death than whatever the highest death count on a John Wick film is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
So, as long as just a little more. Oh, we should put Keanu Reeves in here somewhere. He's the internet sweetheart these days.
Oh, that's a good
That is
point.
true.
He is the hottest
Dedicated
actor.
to Keanu
Yeah, where
Reeves.
did that come from?
I don't know, because we all saw Lake House.
Ouch. You know what? It's true, though. I remember everyone was talking shit about Keanu Reeves, even from just The Matrix. Everyone was talking shit about him back in the day. And now everyone loves him.
Literally a month ago. He's like meme central.
It's just because John Wick 3.
Really just John Wick.
It's that, and it's the Netflix movie of the like slow motion him walking in. What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Nobody knows
The
his
him
name.
and Winona Ryder one?
No, it's the one.
I forget the show.
I don't remember.
This
But
is
it's
called
it's
No One Knows and No One Cares.
it's like a romantic comedy that came out on Netflix recently, and then the end of the movie, he comes out as like the main actress's like boyfriend.
What?
That sounds great.
Wait, what? Oh, is it Always Be My Maybe?
No.
I'm pretty. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Is that right?
I haven't seen that yet, but I want to. I knew he was in it.
Yep, that's the
Oh,
one.
there you go.
Well,
That's the one.
Infinite Death is dedicated in memory of Keanu Reeves, who's still alive.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we just love him so much.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, thanks, Pablo. That was a great suggestion. I don't think we could have made that movie without Chris Pine and Helen Mirren.
Oh,
and
definitely not.
Their inspiration. Pablo, if we want to find your podcast and all things related to you, how can we go about finding you?
But if you just search the lineup on iTunes, or I guess iTunes is gone now, isn't it?
I think so.
It's over,
It's
man.
dissolving.
Yeah,
It's about to be.
so just the podcast app and then SoundCloud, of course. But
SoundCloud. Okay, so just the lineup on SoundCloud or on whatever Apple's platform is, wherever you find
Whatever Apple's doing.
wherever you find fine podcasts like this one.
yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, Pablo. Appreciate round 2 with you. Hopefully, there will be round 3 that will also be recorded.
I feel like there will be.
Yeah, I do too.
I think so. I feel confident about it.
Yeah. I'll be practicing more.
You're already perfect, so there's no need for practice.
Yeah, dude.
Well, thanks, Pablo. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, man. Bye now.
Bye.
Well, if you have a great action movie title for us to make a movie out of, why don't you send it to our pod mail at pwspacecast@gmail.com.
Yup.
You can follow us on all of our social media, Podworm Spacecast. That includes Instagram and Facebook and even a little bit of Twitter here and there. A little bit. And we have a website, pwspacecast.com. You can find all of our upcoming tour dates and meet and greets and even some special bonus content.
Oh yeah.
You got to go find it, though.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to tell you where it is. That's why it's called a bonus.
That's right.
And if you like the show, the most important thing here is you got to share it with a friend, a family, a coworker, a construction worker who might also be your coworker if you are a construction worker.
Absolutely.
So forgive that little redundancy there.
You're forgiven.
But as always, the most important thing, space fans, until next time, keep